Hi, you guys. This is Willow Bradner of willowbradner.com. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys are having a romantical day with yourself first, and potentially, if you've got a person, I hope that it is romantical for the both of you as well. I think this holiday has so much pressure on it to be in love, fall in love, show love, share love. And at the end of the day, what I think we sometimes forget is why it matters at all, and what is love. And so I just want to stop and take a little minute and just pay a little homage to you and pay a little attention to you, because you are the knight in shining armor. You are the one that you've been waiting for, and you're the one that has all the stuff that you need. And so I just want to take a little minute and give you all a shout out, because on this Valentine's Day, it's not about getting flowers from somebody else. It's not about having somebody else provide love for you, but rather taking a minute to provide love for yourself and really taking time to cherish who you are, what you want, what ultimately lights you up and what you love, and then take some time and actually apply those things that you love to yourself. So I hope that you have time today to do that. Now, I also wanted to take a little minute for those who are still looking for love, because I think we need help sometimes when we're looking for love. And that includes looking for career, because that can be love. Waiting for a child to show up in our lives, because that can feel like looking for love. So I just wanted to take a little minute and share this story with you guys, because we think somehow we're in charge and things don't happen on our time frame. We start to panic, we freak out, we move into control mechanisms, and we forget to sort of pay attention to spirit upstairs and get the messages. In case you can't see, that's Razzie behind you, my little dog. So when I was single years ago, I had been, I think I was 33, 34 when I met my husband. And I was not a good single person. I was actually a pretty crappy single person. I was really good at convincing myself that every man could potentially be the man. I put more square pegs in round holes than I care to admit. I really wanted love. I really, really wanted to be in love. That mattered a ton to me. My nieces have even said to me that they call me Auntie Moore. They say, Auntie Moore, you're just all about the love. And it's true, because to me, love is the essential ingredient for life. It's just, we seem to think it's romantic love, right? So prior to have found my romantic love, my husband, I was really curious if I was ever going to meet that person. And I went to bed one night and I had this amazing dream. And the way that the spirit guides sort of told me how I was going to meet my husband was, they had me floating out of a window. Imagine that you could fly and you jump out of the window of like a hotel room. That's how high up I felt. And as I was floating to the ground, I could see so clearly as I hovered just above this man walk out of a building. And it was very clear that they were sort of ushering me towards this man. This man is the person that you're meant to be with. But they also showed me walking out of a building 3 blocks away from him. So if we're in the time zone of when we want to meet somebody, in this dream, what I was being shown was that we were in proximity of each other. We were in proximity of each other. We were in the same time zone, but we were 3 blocks away. And so it wasn't a matter of if, it became a matter of when I was going to meet him. And I woke up with this message that lingered, and I use for everything. And when you work with me, you'll hear me tell this story 1,000 times and give this speech so many times, which is, if you knew unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, that he was coming in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 minutes, how differently would you live your life? And I feel the same, I feel as compelled to that as I do in saying, if you knew unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt that the job that you wanted was just 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months away, if the child that you're waiting for you knew unequivocally was going to be here in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 months, how differently would you live your life? And now apply it to love. If you knew that the outside thing that you're looking for, meaning the thing outside of yourself that is taking so much energy in you trying to manifest it, what if you knew unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, that it would be here in 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 months? How differently would you live your life? Would you let yourself off the hook in some capacity? Would you allow yourself to spend more time in love with yourself? Would you have time to imagine what you would do with all the free time if you weren't worrying about the things that are out of your control? What would you do if you knew unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt? So that's what I really wanted to pose to you guys today. And I want to say this. So that message came in to me the morning after that dream. And I popped on the phone. I called my best friend Holly and I said, let's go to Italy. It's my last single days on earth. I'm only going to be single for another 5 days, 5 weeks, or 5 months. Let's go have fun. Because one of the things that I noticed about myself was that I was standing around in my life waiting for him to show up. I wasn't living my life. I was waiting for him to show up. And it wasn't until I made the decision to go live that he was actually, I think, able to show up. And they say that these things happen when you least expect them. And I say, yes, and show me a woman who's not looking for love and I'll show you a liar. Because I do believe that actually we're all sort of looking for this thing. We're all looking for these things that'll fill us up. And it's not when we're least expecting. It's when we are distracted. It's when we are living. It's when we are not in the middle of trying to make stuff happen or push a boulder up a hill that things start to flow naturally. And so when you notice that you're working really, really hard or things feel really, really stressed out, I say drop the rope. Drop the rope. See what happens if you just drop the rope, walk away, let it go. Keep doing small actionable items every day, but just sort of don't spend as much time worrying about it and spend more time focusing on the love that you have for yourself, the things that light you up and make you excited to be around. Like if it's a career that you're looking for, you might have like a great benefits package right now. Maybe it's time to take the time off. Or if you're waiting for a kid, these are the next days of your life that you're going to be without child, sleeping through the night, eating whatever you want, able to go to restaurants and out to movies. If you're single waiting for love, these are your last single days on earth. What do you want to do with them? So there's an opportunity in the waiting. There's an opportunity that oftentimes we don't take. We spend so much time worrying and getting messed up about it and working really, really hard when we could literally lean back and trust. Just lean back and trust that everything's going to be okay. So when I leaned back and trusted, and I went to Europe with my friend Holly, when I went out to dinner with my girlfriends, I started not focusing on the door, waiting for him to show up and, walk through the door and find me. Instead, I knew unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt that he was coming. And so when I stopped looking at the door and I stopped waiting for him to arrive, and I started actually hanging out with my girlfriends and listening to them in conversation, and I started traveling and I started doing the things that I actually wanted, I became more in love with myself, and I became clearer about what I was willing to accept and what I wasn't. And one of the most remarkable things that I really got out of that time period was that the only thing that I actually had to lose was me. The only thing that I had to lose was me. And so when we're waiting, it's an opportunity to know ourselves, to recognize that the only thing ever that we have to lose is ourselves. That's it. All the fear in the world, all we have is ourselves, right? So spend a little time on this Valentine's Day and figure out what it is that you love. Have a relationship with yourself. Date yourself. Send yourself flowers. Hell, take yourself to the spa. Buy yourself chocolates. Do whatever it is that feeds your heart and feeds your soul and make something really rock for yourself. And I want to say last that yes, when I got off the plane from Europe, it was 2 weeks after we got off the plane from Europe that I met my husband, literally. And I think that it was in the rough zone of 3 months, not 5 months. It came a little sooner than we both expected. He was not as prepared as I was. We were both like, oh my gosh, so this is happening. But he came, is my point, and he showed up, and it's been remarkable. These things do happen. It's just never on our time frame. Our lives are educational at best for ourselves, and so it's like baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, and all those little steps get us to where we're going. And I don't mean the steps in action towards the thing, but rather all the steps that we take that create opportunities for us to live these magnificent lives that we've been given. So much love, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you take yourself out on a date. Peace in. Take care. Love you. Bye.